Allahu Akbar.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi Kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. If you're on the Prophet's team, say long live the deen. Y'all can do better than that. If you're on the Prophet's team, say long live the deen. If you're on the Prophet's team, say long live the deen. Listen up, listen up. No more kings and gold rings, sitting in thrones and living in homes pillared with gold beams. Let's go, No more kings and gold rings, sitting in thrones and living in homes pillared with gold beams. Send them to the guillotine, pillaging villages when the citizens won't see. Let's start over. No more kings and gold rings, sitting in thrones and living in homes pillared with gold beams. Send them to the guillotine, pillaging villages when the citizens won't sing. It's a pitiful scene when political regimes doing criminal things. Now say, long live the deen. No more schemes, no more screams, no more fiends addicted to morphine, no more streams of blood spilled by more teens. Say, long live the deen. No more ignorance, no more language obscene, no more arrogance, no more low self-esteem. We got to live in between and put an end to extreme. Long live the deen. The religion of Adam, the religion of Ibrahim, the religion of Mecca, the religion of Philistine, the religion of Brooklyn, the religion of Queens. The religion of vision, the religion of dreams, the religion of fall, summer, winter, and spring, from Bermuda to Beijing, all the way to the Philippines. They saying? It's bigger than the machine. My prescription, my vaccine, my nutrition, my protein, my convincing for keeping my soul clean. Embedded in my genes, it's deep in my bloodstream. The religion of the desert, I need it like sunscreen. Long live the deen. That glow, that good gleam, that pure, that pristine. The only real reason for keeping my soul clean. Yuhyi ad-din. الدين هذا الذي مدينة للمؤمنين وفي هذا المدينة هناك بيوت اليتيم وفيها هناك طريق المتقين على اليمين الذي اسمه المستقيم نمشي عليه مع مسلمين طال عمر الدين طال عمر الدين طال عمر الدين آمين. I'm going to keep it moving forward, inshallah, because I know we got another wonderful performer coming after me, inshallah. So I'm going to go into my next piece, which is the title track from my album called Soldier of Hisham. And it is a dedication to my grandfather, Hisham Jaaber. Servant of Allah, soldier of Hisham. My prophet is Muhammad. My religion is Islam. Hate it or love it, this is what I am. The desert, the shepherd, the sacrificial lamb. I got the struggle in my blood. Hard hat on in a puddle full of mud. Never was a hustler, never was a thug. Never did time, man, I never sold drugs. When it comes to my brothers, I can never hold a grudge. Because one day we all got to tell it to the judge. And what is more dear than a mother to a cub? Said what I ain't want to hear, but she did it out of love. Held me up like an ark in the middle of a flood. So every time I see her, gotta hit her with a hug. Abby, Naima, Shakila, Yusuf, Lukman, Abdul, Saida, Ismail, Jalil, Ilyas, Sakina, Zainab, Jannah, Suhaila, Fatima, Saudia, Huda, Adib, Jabari, Grandma Latifa, Uncle Rashid, and Ali. The list goes on, no exaggeration. Need a flag for the fam, it's a Jaaber nation. Now give it up for the dean like graduation. And bring in me for the invocation. American-born Muslim, third generation, built for the battlefield. No renovation, no reset button, no simulation. The INGI is for infiltration. Save one, save all, no discrimination. There is no race in this situation, no games, no lies, no manipulation, just truth and faith and inspiration. Listen, it was written, this is history in the making, uplifting the spirits of the people with this lyrical liberation, servant of Allah, soldier of Hisham. My prophet is Muhammad, my religion is Islam. Hate it or love it, this is what I am. The desert, the shepherd, the sacrificial lamb. Yeah. How many people look me up online? ColorMeMuslim.us. Say it back, ColorMeMuslim.us. This next piece is a piece that I just recently fell back in love with. But it is a very serious piece, and we should definitely take heed to the message. It's called The Attributes of Shaytan. Shaytan in my house. Shaytan in my head. Shaytan on my couch. Shaytan on my bed. Shaytan on my back, weighing heavy on my legs. Shaytan in all black, walking amongst the living dead. Shaytan likes to whisper. Shaytan likes to scheme. Shaytan in your headphones. Shaytan on your screen. Shaytan in your nightmares. Shaytan in your dreams. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Shaytan likes to whisper. Shaytan likes to party. Shaytan likes to play. Shaytan likes to distract you when it's time to pray. Shaytan likes to bully and stand in your way. Shaytan likes to be the one to ruin your day. Shaytan ugly. Shaytan loud. Shaytan ignorant. Shaytan wild. Shaytan arrogant. Shaytan proud. And every time you sin, the Shaytan smiles. Shaytan profane, Islam profound, but Shaytan takes the truth and turns it upside down. Shaytan Arab, Shaytan white, Shaytan as black as the darkest night. Shaytan tyrant, Shaytan bite, Shaytan is always starting a fight. You have to hold off the Shaytan with all of your might, because soon as you let your guard down, the Shaytan strikes. The light of Allah is Shaytan's plight, so Shaytan oppresses and takes away your rights. Shaytan just does whatever in the world he likes, because the Shaytan is in love with this worldly life. Shaytan phony, Shaytan fake, Shaytan your homie, but Shaytan hate. Shaytan lonely, so Shaytan waits for us to lose faith and take Shaytan's bait. Shaytan crooked, Islam straight, so however you put it, they shouldn't relate. Falsehood is his feast, frustration is his plate. Wake up late and you give the Shaytan a break. I'm trying to see how much patience the Shaytan can take, because I got that deen to make the Shaytan shake. Let's go. Shaytan mayor, Shaytan actor, Shaytan gangster, Shaytan rapper, all taking turns reciting from Shaytan's chapters. Children of Adam, it is us who the Shaytan is after. And your downfall is the fuel for the Shaytan's laughter. Shaytan half naked, showing off her shame. Shaytan greedy, feeding off your pain. Shaytan instigates, Shaytan complains, but Shaytan innocent. That's what Shaytan claims. Sure, he hasn't power over you when he's not the one to blame. But he's a giant's leap from innocent, and all his actions are in vain. Why Shaytan in your body, Shaytan in your brain, Shaytan in your spirit, Shaytan in your veins. But in the month of Ramadan, the Shaytan is in chains. And in your faith and obedience, you keep the Shaytan restrained. From when the first child is born to when the last child is gone, Shaytan remains, Shaytan transforms, Shaytan disdains, Shaytan scorns. And if you're not holding fast to the rope of Allah, then you're just hanging on to the Shaytan's horns. Shaytan invasions, Shaytan wars, Shaytan grenades, and Shaytan swords. Helping the Shaytan is a fate that no man should afford. Because the Shaytan cannot help you when you stand before your Lord. What? I'm retired. Udhun. Ears. To feast on the Muslims, all the nations will gather. As the invited guest of a banquet surrounding a platter. And the believers will be many, but our numbers won't even matter because of our love of this life and dislike of the hereafter. And yet too often I hear laughter, drowning out the bombs. Sleeping on the job, it's time to sound the alarm. That's the sound of a mom with her child in her arms with a cry so loud, make the clouds want to storm. The enemies of Islam are advancing their plans, dividing the Ummah and setting up camps in our lands. We had the chance to come together, but we sat on our hands and let the West carry the banner of Sharia bans. If we don't stand together, then where do we stand? I said, if we don't stand together, then where do we stand? 1,400 years and the prophecy continues. And if you ain't at the table, then you're probably on the menu. To feast on the Muslims, all the nations will gather as the invited guest of a banquet surrounding a platter. And the believers will be many, but our numbers won't even matter because of our love of this life and dislike of the hereafter. Islamophobia is spreading fast. It's like some kind of cancer, fueled by the media. It's all gossip and slander. And so many lives lost at the price of your propaganda because the politics of fear suggested war is the answer. Turn on the TV, another certified liar with killer intentions and murderous desires. And their business description is war for hire, getting paid every day to set the world on fire. With no second thought to what their words inspire, and the one pointing finger is the gun supplier. So don't let the humble get caught in the wrong attire, in a turban, a thobe, or the wrong kafaya. Wave goodbye to the ease and hello to the hardship, because when your faith is constant, that makes you a target, and 2 times the threat with the name of a prophet. Nowadays, that's all it takes to get your name on a rocket. To feast on the Muslims, all the nations will gather as the invited guest of a banquet surrounding a platter. And the believers will be many, but our numbers won't even matter because of our love of this life and dislike of the hereafter. Is my blood so cheap that you spill it by the gallon? And numbers unheard of because ain't nobody counting. From Syria to Burma, blood running like a fountain. And the corpses so many, it's enough to make a mountain. Genocide, apartheid, welcome to the dark side where faith in Allah is enough to get you hog-tied. My heart goes out to the martyrs, caught between borders. The signs are so clear, it says the world's out of order. Believers lining up like lambs for the slaughter. And what does war taste like over oil and water? Blood boiling over black beneath the soil in Iraq is encouragement enough for them to forward their attack. And too late to make amends now. Ain't no looking back. Ain't no making friends. No, ain't no making pacts. Because they don't see people, no. All they see is stats. Here's a question for democracy. What type of policy is that? Manifest destiny is just another word for conquest. That's why military generals get elected to Congress. How many have to digest to make it easier to digest the fire that you intake every time you bomb us? To feast on the Muslims, all the nations will gather as the invited guest of a banquet surrounding a platter. And the believers will be many, but our numbers won't even matter because of our love of this life and dislike of the hereafter. Yet too often I hear laughter drowning out the bombs. Thank you. I would like my brother Qasim to come give me a hug. MashaAllah, he's the one who invited me personally. And I just want to give him a hug. Say Shaytan for the opportunity. Love you for the sake of Allah. See me after, inshallah, if you want to get my album. There's no music on it. It's just a cappella. And I want to close with a short reminder to the believers, inshallah, that we're always on trial every day. So this piece is called In the Court of Allah. Arrogance won't hold up in the court of Allah. Ignorance won't hold up in the court of Allah. No matter who you are, there is no excuse in the court of Allah. You could be rich. You could be a star. You could have a mansion and a super fast car, but none of that will matter in the court of Allah. You could be gangster. You could be hardcore. You could be raw. You could be a certified gangster above the law, but none of that will matter in the court of Allah. You could be a king. You could be a queen with a throne and a crown and a custom ring, but none of that will matter on Yawmuddin in the court of Allah. You could be a baller. You can own a team. You can dance, you can rap, you can sing. You can bring everything you own and everything you've seen, every place you've been and everywhere between. But none of that will matter on Yawmuddin in the court of Allah. You could be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. You could be an actor. You can have an Oscar. You can have your masters. You can have your mobsters. But none of that will matter in the court of Allah. Arrogance won't hold up in the court of Allah. Ignorance won't hold up in the court of Allah. No matter what you are, there is no excuse in the court of Allah. And what will you do when your heart's on trial? When that fear comes up and your thoughts run wild? Now you want to pray? Now you want to bow? You had your whole life to pray. It's too late now in the court of Allah. How you going to plead? Premeditated ignorance? Why you never read? You had the chance to make your case, but let the devil take. You had the chance to make your case, but let the devil proceed. Now you're just another negligent that never took heed. And who was your prophet? What was your creed? What did you believe if it wasn't Tawheed? The guilty are the ones who never will be freed. Just lock them in the fire and throw away the keys. Arrogance won't hold up in the court of Allah. Ignorance won't hold up in the court of Allah. No matter who you are, there is no excuse in the court of Allah. Thank you very much for your time. One last time, let me get a long live the Deen. Long live the Deen.